1977 we're going to talk about. But first, today was Bill Young's funeral. And so, how's this fitting? I chose this tie to wear. I might be the only guy with a tie there, but how could you not want to give tribute to one of your very best friends with a Jimi Hendrix tie? Pretty dang cool. It was a good funeral. It was very nice. I actually have a little footage I'll probably share on Sunday with everyone, but definitely a man well loved. And it was good to see some of the fellow record collectors. I know many people live too far away or whatever, so it was too hard. But yeah, so rest in peace, Bill. You had fitting send off, and we played Can. Yeah, Can. Can you believe that? So that is cool stuff. All right, but now let's talk 1977. In 1977, Studio 54 opened. Think about that. The movie Saturday Night Fever came out. Man, that movie, that was like, oh, look at that. Everyone wanted to be John Travolta to be able to dance like that because look at the hot chicks he got. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That came out that year also. Alaska Pipeline started. Leonid Brezhnev, he got elected. Just fun facts off the top of my head. But for music, for me, this by far has been the most difficult year because I could easily do top 20. The music was powerful. Things were changing in music. The kids did not want to listen to what their brothers and sisters, their older brothers and sisters had been listening to. They'd been listening to hard rock. They'd been listening to prog, soft rock. There was a musical rebellion that went on that burned out just as fast as it started. It was smoldering. It was coming up, and then it exploded. And so as I was looking through my list of what albums are my favorites from that year, it was difficult. This is the most I've had, actually. I probably had maybe 25, 30 of the albums that came out that year. That's not maybe that much, but, considering, we just started rebuilding this thing after the flood 2 years ago, this was a big year. So I'm going to show you very quickly, what didn't make it, because this is how powerful. I don't have the cover. This here, though, the Saints out of Australia, Stranded. This thing is a powder keg of punk, rock, and angst. I just recently picked this up. It's an original, The Vibrators, out of Great Britain with Baby Baby. Someone said, man, that kind of sounds like that New York Dolls, and they're right. It has a very New York Dolls type feel, but great punk rock album. Out of Cleveland again. Let's give Cleveland a shout out, the Dead Boys. This is a nice original of the Dead Boys. Young, Loud, and Snotty. These guys were very loud, very snotty, very irreverent, out there really trying to shock the masses. They're out of Cleveland, but they got invited to come to New York City. They came and they liked what they saw and went nuts. We have the Stranglers, one of my all-time favorite albums, Ractus Norvicus, I believe. On here, you have one of my all-time favorite punk rock. And yet, I guess it's punk, but it's different. Get a Grip on Yourself is on here, and you have Peaches, but Get a Grip on Yourself is one of the greatest organs. That came out this year. Out of the UK, Wire. This, it's just an amazing album. You could call it punk to post-punk. So important. Out of Germany, you had Kraftwerk put out Trans-Europe Express. All of these are top-notch favorite albums of that year, but not in my top 10. Richard Hell and the Voidoids. I love Come in Spurts. This guy, he was in the New York Dolls. He played for the Heartbreakers. He just, and he carried these same songs to these different groups, and finally he put out his own because, there was always friction. He liked to be a showman. And I said New York Dolls. I apologize. Television. He was in television, and Verlaine just like, God, this guy, Verlaine didn't want to move around. This guy's jumping around, pissed him off. We had Talking Heads came out with their very first album. This was actually they show the four-piece band on there, Jerry Harrison, but in all honesty, it was a three-piece band that did most of this album, and Jerry Harrison came at the very end. And then, and almost, to me, a near-perfect album of rock, The Styx, and that's The Grand Illusion. This actually number 11. So much goodness on this thing, on this album, but number 11 didn't make the top 10, but an all-time favorite album that I bought as an 18-year-old. So, top 10. A lot of these albums I didn't buy at the time, but as I've grown, as I've moved along in life, they've become huge. Number 10, Bob Marley's Exodus. It has one of the greatest songs ever, especially for driving. Jamming, I'm jamming. I think I'm gonna jam with you. Ba, ba, ba. This is Reggae 101. If you've never bought reggae, you haven't or not interested, no, I don't think I like reggae, this is the album. Is it his greatest? Probably not. You have, Catch a Fire, stuff like that. But this, he toned it down. Here's guitar solos. That was something new and different. There's guitar solos on here. One Love, People Get Ready. It's just incredibly beautiful album. For those that want to try reggae or get into it, this is a perfect gateway into reggae. And I absolutely love it. And jamming is, if you're driving, how could you just not? You put on jamming. It's a head nodder. Number 9, Jethro Tull and Songs from the Wood. Tour de force of pure beauty. This is his Elizabethan stage is happening, and which he's kind of going back more toward Old English type melodies, but yet there are the hard rockers. Martin Barr's guitar still rocks. You have the Christmas song, Ring Out Solstice Bells, which is an absolute song of pure beauty and magic. Songs from the Woods, just wonderful. Jack in the Green, Ripper song, of The Whistler. It's just great song after great song came from this album. Incredible good stuff. It was the second Jethro Tull album I ever bought, and it was different from the first one, which was Minstrel in the Gallery. Beautiful. It lives up to its reputation. Number 8, The Amazing Parliament and Funkadelic versus the Placebo Syndrome. All-time favorite Funkadelic Parliament album. Now, you could say Parliament, Funkadelic, a lot of the same people were in them. It does have the hit Flashlight, but that's not what made this big. What makes it big is the song Bop Gun, Funkadelic, The Placebo Syndrome, Sir No's Devoid of Funk, Wizard of Finance. I'm sure you're all saying, oh my God, those are just the best songs ever. Well, they are. It's a concept album, and I've shown this one before, where we have Star Child here, and Star Child has the bop gun, and here's Sir No's Devoid of Funk, who doesn't dance. He never dances. He will not dance. But the Star Child comes in, hits him with the bop gun, and what happens? He starts stripping naked and gets funky. Because if you're going to dance, you can't wear clothes because it just gets in your way. That's just what bop guns do. So if you get caught naked in the street and you're pulled over, you're arrested, or just tell them you got hit by a bop gun. And they go, yeah, right. This is listen to Parliament, baby. You understand. So great album. And that one is my number 8 album of the year. The ninth, number 7. I'm going to have to show you an album. I don't have the album cover for it. This is Fela Kuti. And this is the, there's the label. This is from his album, Zombie. And this is what it looks like, Zombie. This, to me, is one of the very, very best Fela Kuti albums ever made. It is highly charged political. It's about after the raid. Well, actually, he's making fun. I think the raid came after this. He's making fun of the army. He's telling that soldiers are zombies. They just follow orders. 1, 2, 3, 4. You just, whatever someone tells you to do, you do. You have no mind. You are zombies. And he just rails about it. And it's just such a beautiful, absolutely funky, makes you just want to shake your booty kind of album, but highly charged political, that got him so hated by the army. Compound was raided and burned down. Then, 7, I believe, 6, first punk single, first punk album, The Damned. And this is, the self-titled, The Damned, and well, actually it's called Damn, Damn, Damn. Yeah, lots of damn. There's just damning going on. You're damned, you're damned, you're damned. Damn, damn, damn. By The Damned. Catchy. You have the absolutely essential punk singles of New Rose and Neat, 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 Neat. Yeah, Neat, Neat, Neat. Yeah, 3 times. Both of them. Incredible. This is fast, hard, charging punk. It's not political. This is more, we're having some fun, man. We're just here. We are coming out at you, and this is going to be great. And it was. And it came off of Stiff Records. Nice original there. Beautiful. Wonderful album. A must of any punk collection. Number 5. Am I out of order again? Yeah, no, it actually is. I think I'm actually right for once. Suicide. There's the original there that I bought before the flood, but I did get, a reissue cover. Suicide, these songs were recorded actually probably 72, 73. They had been around, Martin Rev. They wanted to deconstruct music, take it, pull it apart, make it something totally different. The other part was they wanted to assault their audience with noise. And if they couldn't get an angry reaction from the audience, they might just pack up and leave. They felt they totally failed. That's how these guys acted. And this is just the most remarkable album. It has Frankie Teardrop on here, which just has the most classic haunting yell ever. I mean, it is just this scream that it's just awesome. And there's Ghost Rider, Rocket USA, the ballad Cherie. One guy singing, one guy playing synth, and my God, talk about power. Number 5, and one of my absolute all-time favorite albums. The next ones are these next 5, well, The Damned, you could say 6. These next 5 rank absolutely in my top 20, maybe top 15, most of my top 10. Television marquee move. Incredibly important. I talked about Richard Hell earlier. He had started in this group, was kicked out. Verlaine did much care for him, so off he went, and they did this. Side 1 is a tour de force. Side 2's good, but there is nothing as powerful as Side 1 with See No Evil, Venus, Friction, Marquee Moon. Outstanding stuff. Not punk. They weren't rock. maybe the post-punk. You know, CBGB's, you know, gave them the shot. You know, he's like, who are these guys? There's, you know, I mean, they're one of the first bands in CBGB's, and they're going there, and Hilly Crystal's kind of going, well, what are you guys about? Well, we're not country western, but let us play. And he did, and he absolutely loved them, and they played there a lot, and they built this following. Just Verlaine was such a control freak, and people really had a hard time working with the guy. It's just my way or the highway. But important album, number 4. Coming in number 3, Elvis Costello, My Aim Is True. Best Elvis Costello album, in my opinion, which matters a lot to me. It's fast, it's exciting from start to finish. It's just constant good songs on here. Nice inner sleeve on there. It's obviously original. Came out of Columbia. This album, you know, has obviously My Aim Is True is on here. Welcome to the Week. Miracle Man, No Dancing, Allison's on here. Watching the Detectives is on here. Less Than Zero, Mystery Dance. It's just, this is what punk was about. This guy's kind of angry. He's kind of pissed. You can hear it in his music. You can hear it in his voice. One of the angry young men that he was labeled within the next couple years. I mean, Costello, well, he was making music so fast, so quick. You know, he came up with that look. You know, actually, I believe one of his managers came up with that look for him, just to try to get attention and to kind of, and actually, you know, using Elvis as, you know, to piss people off. Absolutely outstanding. If you need one Elvis Costello album, that's the Elvis Costello album, his very first one. Next, number 2, one of the most important albums, The Clash. I think London Calling's better, but for this year, this is number 2. This has Jamie Jones, I'm So Bored with the USA, White Riot, London's Burning, Career Opportunities, Police and Thieves. It is an absolute powerhouse of the best punk made by a group that's out there trying to say something. We're going to say something important. You can also feel this, the beginning of the reggae starting to come in just a teeny bit into the music on some of these. But it was a band that really was serious about trying to say something. Really serious about not liking what was going on, and we're going to sing about it. And they took themselves quite serious. But the number 1 ranks as probably one of my all-time, my favorite album of all time. They came, they saw, they conquered, they blew up. The Sex Pistols, never mind the Sex Pistols. By the time this came out, they were blowing up already. It is just, every song on here is pure power, pure excitement. It was what people, so many bands heard them play and said, I'm going to start a band. And they did. And, you know, the group was made, Malcolm McLaren, he wanted puppets. He wanted to create controversy. Were they really political? Well, Lyndon, his later lyrics at times could be, but quite honestly, no. They just wanted to go out there and have a lark and create chaos, which is more McLaren. Malcolm McLaren, and he went on, he did it, he did Bow Wow Wow, anything he touched, his own music. But this thing had important things to say. You have Pretty Vacant, Liar, God Save the Queen. My God, you talk about, let's make some controversy. Let's do this on our Silver Jubilee. Holidays in the Sun, Bodies, Anarchy in the UK. Not a bad song on here. This song to this album excites me. To this day, every song on here, I just want to just go, yeah, it just puts adrenaline pumping. Incredible. One of the great, for me, this is the greatest album. There's Miles Davis kind of blues right in with this. between this and Miles Davis Kind of Blue. I don't know. But incredible stuff. 1977, Power Pat. Is it the best year in music? For me, it could very well be the greatest year ever in music. It was that important. It was, the music that came was life-changing once again, and it hit me when I was 18 years old, and that's a powerful time. Thanks everyone for watching this. This is Vinyl Richie's thread, and it's been exciting to do, and we're on to 78. Bye.